All right, check it out. This video is long overdue. The question is, give me some tips on spray painting, Jason. All right, I got you. So Todd from Indy CNC says he wants to spray paint some of his cars out there in Indianapolis. And I said, all right, let me give you a quick rundown of what we got going on here. Our first thing is where to buy paint and what do you buy? I buy Montana 94 specifically. Hear that ball bearing? That means it's getting shook up. Now your Walmart, Hobby Lobby is going to sell you Krylon, or they're going to sell you, pardon me, some Rust-Oleum. All right, let me get to some of the differences. The Rust-Oleum, it's easier to get. It runs a bit until you learn it. It's more problematic and you won't get as great results, but it's a little less expensive. Now, I also buy Montana Gold, and they have a line where it's black color can, so Montana Black. But the Montana Black is more of a higher pressure paint, and because I'm painting just the side of demolition derby cars, that's only like 28 inches or something. So a lot of derby people ask me to get a lot of information in that 28 inches. The problem is it only goes so tight. What I mean by, see this green cap? That's a number 1 cap. Here, let me turn this around. All right, so we got the cap on the Rust-Oleum. It's a male. And it's a female cap. On Montana 94, female, male cap. I always use these green number 1s because they're the smallest you can get. Where do you get these at? I buy them from Dick Blick at the store. These are what you buy at Walmart, and then I use a green cap number 6. Here, let me show you some differences. Now, when you put the cap on here, the Rust-Oleum, can you hear the pressure? All right, let's put a cap. We'll put a number 1 cap on this Canon 94. Can you hear that different? Hear the different pressure? This is why it doesn't run so much, is because there's not as much pressure, so I'm not blasting it with as much paint. But this is the smallest detail, so let's just write Todd. T-O-D-D. All right, that's about as tight as it'll go. So whenever I move over to this green number 6, hold on, one-handed, listen to this. So it puts out more pigment out of this number 6. So that's how I use whenever I want to, do big fills. I use that number 6. So I use, again, Montana 94 is what I like. It's got good color selection. But, I also keep chromes. I like chrome. And so the chrome comes out all wonky, and it's hard to get into a tight line. So I use cheap chrome because it's always going to be a fill, and then I put something on top. All right, let's get back to a few other things. So I always keep a ton of caps because you're going to go through these caps pretty quickly. Once the paint dries in there, that cap's over and done with. But these caps aren't bad. They're like less than $1. Less than $1, I don't know, 60 cents. So I buy them by 10, 20, 30 at a time. Let me turn this around. All right, so that's the tutorial. So you can either buy them online. I can't fly with these paints, you know what I mean? So I have to find where they're sold at in America. When I land, then I pick them up. Or if I know ahead of time, if the promoter knows that a couple months ahead of time, then I can buy the paint and then have it shipped there, and then I just fly with my bag of stickers and caps, and if I can, I'll buy some more, always. All right, so again, recap this stuff. Once you get better at spray painting, like old head graffiti guys, these guys don't really care. They wish they had this, but when you're racking paint, this is the stuff you usually end up racking, so you got to learn to spray paint with that. So they make an adapter for this that you can go from this cap, this can, that goes to this cap, and it's somewhere in my bag, but I never use it. I always just buy the expensive paint. Not everybody has that opportunity. So this is what I use, and it works well for me. It's consistent paint. There's a lot of spray paint companies out there that you can buy paint like this. I say if you're going to buy specialty spray paint, try to get a can that has the female end on it. And the reason for that is you can use these caps, which helps with the final product, with the detail. So you saw how close I held that can to the surface of the bucket there. That's how close you got to be. You got to be like right on top of it when you get started, and you have to move with confidence and purpose. So these derby cars are fantastic things to practice on. You can practice over and over again. Here, let me go to the car and we'll do some tips. Pause. All right. So I grabbed these cans here, grab some pink, and we're going to start with a number 6 cap on this yellow, and we're going to write T Y. You can kind of see how it doesn't run. So I'm gonna have to really load up on it to get it to run, and it barely runs. All right, so that was a number 6 tip. Let's put on a number 1 on this pink. Make sure it's shook up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the TY. And I'm purposefully leaving it so you can get that wide, or we can get a little closer so we can go at project. See how close I am and how fast I'm moving? Project 53rd, which is my guy TY. All right, so I left it kind of big here, and here's a quick technique at the beginning that you'll be using, and it's called the cutback. And what I do is I move to the number 1, and then what I use it to sharpen up the lines. See how it's nice and sharp there? Do it again. See those sharp lines there? So when you get back, you fill it in. So when you get better, you'll be able to do that line with a number 1, but at the beginning, you're going to use these cutbacks to make it look a little cleaner. You know what I mean? We want it to look clean. Right? So that's about as tight as it'll go. Let me turn this camera around. All right, so that was a quick tip there. Project 53rd. That's my guy, TY. So I've been practicing on derby cars for years. I got a little bit of training when I lived in Seattle about the history of spray paint art, and what my lane is in this whole process. So this is a lot of fun, right? I don't know what to tell you. It's a lot of fun. I love spray painting. This is what I use. Again, the 94, which is my favorite one to use. Use whatever's available to you and just practice. It's much like playing guitar. You got to commit to the practice. You got to commit to holding it really close and moving with a sense of purpose, and really getting after it. But know that this stuff is like a magic eraser. You can just paint it clean. It just costs money to paint it clean, though, so that sucks. So you want to be efficient. You don't want to paint the whole car pink and then be like coming in with all these. You got to know where you're going to put the colors. That way you can save spray paint for a later day. That's important. Like, I don't want you out there just dusting off $100 worth of cans and just going layer after layer after layer. You got to be able to see the layers, see where each colors go. That way you can save some spray paint for tomorrow. Salute my man Todd, Indy CNC. Thanks, buddy. I hope you guys like this. Go team. I love derby. All right, check it out. This video is long.